Is this you? You are flat out. You've got such busy days. You've got your own business. You've got people relying on you. You've got a massive to-do list. And so from the moment you wake up in the morning, it's like you just go, go, go. You're in your head. You got to get to your next meeting. You got to do the next thing. It's just, there's a lot going on. So if this is you, a question I want to ask you, because I see this a lot, do you feel like numb? Do you feel almost trapped? Do you feel like you're on autopilot? If you are, really encourage you to stay listening. This is actually more common than you would think. I get people, so when I'm working with people, they're often at the real pointy end. They've got to the point where their physical body, they're starting to get symptoms. It could be high blood pressure. Look, I'm not a naturopath, so I'm not going to list all the physical stuff that coming in. But people have got stuff going on in their bodies, and they know that what they're doing isn't great, but they don't know how to change it. And I feel numb, Helen. I feel like I'm on autopilot. So, first place I would say is good on you. Good on you for actually slowing down long enough and to have the knowing that, okay, something's got to change. If you have a look at modern society, we are more busy than we've ever been. We're so stimulated from the outside world. It's just go, 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 go. And how do you change that? This is what I want to talk about today. How do you become unnumb? How do you stop being on autopilot? I mean, what is the opposite of that? What is the opposite of not being on autopilot and numb? I know this topic really well because I work with people, but I also had this. I was very numb. I was very shut down. I was very much on autopilot. I lived in the head up. And I knew I wanted to change, but I just didn't know how. My programming was just this pushing, this constant pushing. But if we go a bit deeper and under it all, I was actually just trying to prove my worth. And if we go under that a bit more, trying to prove why I was born. I'm not going to go too deep and heavy on you, but that was a lot of it. Is I've just got to prove my worth, and all of that goes way back to childhood, and not feeling enough, not feeling seen, not feeling validated. So as an adult, you got this programming, you got this wiring where you just keep going, you just keep pushing, you're on autopilot, you're numb. And through all of this, I've actually created a method, and I use it constantly, moment by moment. 3 steps: awareness, acceptance, and authentic action. And that's where I want to take you today, to help you unnumb, to help you stop being on autopilot. Because what do you lose out on? You lose out on being present, don't you? You lose out on smelling the flowers, hearing the birds, being present moment, because you're so freaking driven. But it comes at a cost, because you're cranky, you're short, you're impatient, you can get angry really easily. You've got vices on tap. It's not a great way to live when you are numb and when you are on autopilot. And another way to put it, a chameleon or masks. I was an incredible chameleon, particularly in my 30s. How would you like me to be? So I'd energetically check somebody out, check out their energy as to how much of me I could show the world. Can I trust this person? And so this chameleon, it was crap. It was terrible, terrible way to live, but I didn't know any other way, because I didn't trust the world. I certainly didn't trust me. I was always hypervigilant. My nervous system was always on, always. And the fight, flight, freeze, God knows when that could happen at any given moment. So, yeah, I was on autopilot and I was numb because it was so tiring. It was so exhausting. So if any of this is speaking to you, the first part of awareness is firstly, number one is self-compassion. When you have self-compassion, you have kindness, love, nurturing, you can slow down. When you don't have self-compassion, you self-reject, you criticize, you have guilt, you're a perfectionism. I mean, that comes through hugely. And self-compassion almost seems like a foreign concept. Excuse me. Having self-compassion is such a different way of living. I'm not going to get into childhood, but all of this wiring, programming, conditioning, patterns began when you were a child, and you're just acting it out and playing it out now. And because you lack self-compassion, because you didn't receive it when you were little, you don't know how to give it to yourself. So the one question I would ask you is, what is one self-compassionate act, gift you can give yourself today? Self-compassion looks like going to the toilet when you need to go. Self-compassion is sitting out under a tree with a cup of tea watching a bird. It can be sitting in a chair watching the clouds. Self-compassion is noticing your inner dialogue and noticing if you're giving yourself a hush time. Self-compassion is having kind words. Self-compassion is finishing work an hour earlier. Self-compassion is kindness and allowing yourself to slow down, to rest, to stop. It's different, isn't it? I have spent many years learning how to do this. Have I got it? Am I all over it? No, of course I'm not. You know, it's a daily connecting inwardly, and it's not from the head. Self-compassion is a feeling, it's a knowing. And you have to not be numb to have self-compassion. If you're numb, you're not going to have self-compassion. So that's the first thing. That's the number one with awareness. The number two is, I've got to go to my notes because I'm forgetting, self-care. So self-care, again, this has been, yes, it's similar to self-compassion, but it can also be a little bit different. It's because when we don't self-care, we self-destruct, we disrespect, we don't have integrity for ourselves. When we don't have self-care, we actually self-neglect. So it's learning how to have self-care. You know, it still gobsmacks me when I have a client in front of me and I'll ask them, so what do you do for self-care? Nothing. Often that is the case. Nothing. So self-care, what does self-care look like? Self-care is, okay, I need a massage. I need to go for a walk. Self-care is I need to meditate. I need to journal. Self-care is noticing I'm getting a bit overwhelmed, so I need some downtime, some quiet time. I need to wash my hair. I need to, there's so many elements to self-care, isn't there? But it's being able to put yourself first. It's being able to give yourself what you need. Self-care is mindfully eating. Self-care is looking after your emotional, mental, spiritual and physical. Self-care is going for a walk when you are needing it or when you want to. I mean, there's so many parts to this. I hope this is making sense to you. The last part of awareness. And if you've been listening to me, you know I rattle on about this. The last part of self-care is mindfulness. Now, mindfulness, again, is all around self-compassion, self-care. But mindfulness is any given moment. Where are you? Are you in the present moment? Look, I do a lot of counselling, particularly with couples and individuals, and mindfulness, they're not in the present moment. They're back in the past, which creates anxiety, or they're in the future, which is worry. So mindfulness and having the awareness that you're in mindfulness is being able to be in the right here, right now. Really simple way to be able to do that is bring in your senses. So this is touching on awareness, because if you're numb, you've got to start bringing in awareness. Now, the next part of the push and pull method is acceptance. In acceptance of this given reality and the story that is here right now. When we're numb, we can often distort reality. We can go into fantasies. We can go into make-believe. And why am I talking about this? Because I know it really well. So acceptance, there are 3 parts to acceptance. There's surrender, there's trust, and there's boundaries. And I could talk an hour on each, but I'm not going to go there in that. But acceptance is being able to trust the reality right as it is right here, right now. You know, the work of Byron Katie, and getting clear on the stories that you're going to in your head. Because let's come back to why you're listening to this, because there's a part of you that feels that you're numb and that you are on autopilot. So how can you surrender and trust the reality that you're in right here and right now? Can you trust you? Can you trust what you're feeling in your body? Can you trust the space and the environment? Can you trust the partner you're with? Look, the quality of questions, I truly believe that everybody has the innate learnings and way to heal themselves, but it's the quality of questions that you ask yourself. So what am I not accepting? Why have I had to numb myself? Why have I had to shut myself down? Again, sit in the question, journal, meditate on it. So we've looked at awareness, we've looked at acceptance, and now I want to go to authentic action. What is an action step that you can do today to help you begin to unnumb? What's an action step that's in alignment with your goals, not anybody else's? You're not meant to be here to please other people and live your life in alignment with their values. What is an action step that you can do today that is going to support you to unnumbing, to start being right here, right now? What is something that you can do, moving your arms and legs, to bring you right back into your body, get connected with yourself, your own values, and start getting aligned to what you want? If you're numbing, you're doing it to protect yourself. If you're on autopilot, why? What are you running from? What are you running away from? Asking yourself these quality questions is going to start stirring you. You're going to have to start unnumbing. And what do you have to let go of? Do you need to let go of a bit of the grog? Do you have to let go of going on social media for 4 hours a day? Do you have to let go of working, overworking? What do you need to let go of so that you can start being in your body? For you to start trusting your body, start trusting you. Because numbing, I know it well, it's a real shitty way of living. But you're doing it. Is it because you're in a relationship that you no longer want to be in? Are you numbing because you're not truly aligned to what you value? Are you numbing because it's just so much? I just don't know even where to look. I've got so much trauma in my body. I'm anxious. I've got anxiety. So sit in the question, why am I numbing? When did I begin numbing? When was I happy? When has been our happiest time in my life? You're numbing to protect yourself. You're numbing because you just don't want to go there. However, how is this serving you? Is it supporting you? I could yak on to this subject for hours, but I'm not going to. So sit in the awareness, the acceptance, and the authentic action. Get on the Helen Harrison website or my Power of Change website. I've got on there the push and pull method, the awareness, the acceptance, and the authentic action. And what do you need to perhaps start looking into? Bring in that awareness that actually I am numbing because I don't have self-compassion for myself. I'm not having self-care. I'm actually not mindful. Great place to start. Start there. You got to start somewhere because if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same result. So if you are numb, what is one step that you are going to do beginning today to help you unnumb? Put it in the comments. You'll be gobsmacked as to the amount of people who live this way. However, you don't know how long you're in your body for. You really don't. You do not know how long you're on this planet for. And it is your job, it is your birthright to unnumb yourself. You know what? Nobody is going to save you. Nobody. I used to think they were. I'll let you into a secret. But you know what? They're not. And so I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to see you next week. Put in the comments, what is one step that you are going to do to start unnumbing? See ya.